Hello, this is the introductory lecture for Unit 6, Writing the Body. Inspiration is commonly described as a kind of spiritual force that enters a writer mysteriously and without warning, filling the writer with brilliant ideas that seem to come from another world. Writers who rely on inspiration are thought of as loafing about in carefree lassitude when suddenly they are seized with inspiration, which propels them to write a brilliant poem, short story, or academic essay. Inspiration is generally considered as the opposite of rational planning. Writers who rely on rational planning, it is assumed, rely entirely on a grid-like formula that will dictate every writerly choice they make. Thesis statement A leads to topic sentence B, which requires supporting sentences D, E, and F. Of these two writerly stereotypes, the rational planning approach is much more likely to lead to success in an academic writing class, and this week's craft lecture applies such an approach to composing the body of your term paper. At the same time, however, it is important to recognize the false choice implied by the inspiration versus rational planning binary. In fact, inspiration and rational planning are not opposites, but two parts of a larger whole, which is the act of writing itself. In fact, inspiration and rational planning rely on one another, and both components are essential to any meaningful and productive writing process. Contrary to popular belief, inspiration does not come out of nowhere. It comes out of you. The thoughts and ideas you expose yourself to throughout your research and other life experiences provide the raw material for ideas that arrive in the form of inspired revelations. Inspiration, that is actually the product of hard work, even though the nature of the inspiration phenomenon might conceal the psychological connection between what you have put into your brain and what is popping out. It is also the case that the act of rationally arranging the outline of a writing project, as formulaic as some of it may be, also requires an element of inspiration. Indeed, it is often the case that a writer sees the complete outline of an essay she is trying to write in one complete insight into how the different pieces of what she wants to say fit together. Again, however, this flash doesn't come out of nowhere. It can generally be induced by the act of sitting down to try to write an outline for your paper. Even at the level of the sentence, rational planning and inspiration are inseparably linked. Having a clear idea about what I want to say is necessary in order for me to come up with an inspired way to say it. The rational planning assists the creation of inspired ideas by giving inspiration some specific content to play with. Likewise, inspired ideas require the discipline of rational planning in order to arrange themselves into sentences that can be read by other people. Every sentence that you will ever write involves dozens of micro-decisions at the level of word choice and grammatical structure, not to mention content, and each of these choices involves a necessary collaboration between reason and inspiration. Ultimately, writing without rational planning is shapeless, and writing without inspiration is useless. Conversely, when a writer's inspired ideas are articulated in rationally planned rhetorical structures, and when those rational structures themselves are the product of inspired ideas, writers can express themselves in ways that can change the world.